White Acre Studio. Hiding behind the forsythia here is Cynthia with the forsythia. And I'm so excited about this because for me, this is a basket hack. I hate that word, but you know what I mean. We're going to be creating baskets without having to have willow or sapling and all of those things. I think basket weaving is so beautiful. It's an artisan craft that I really appreciate. And I'm thrilled that we can make some here today with simple twine. So when you open your box, you're going to have these ingredients. I'm going to move our finished product to the back. In the end, you will have a basket weave vase with a trimmed top. And then we're going to talk about how you can expand that to other shapes and sizes. So this is really cool. I'm going to move this. There we go. In your box, you will have the inner part of your vase. You will have your gorgeous rustic twine. There's so much you can do with this. You're going to have your skewers that you use to make your spines. Depending on whether or not you were with us in previous episodes, you have received a glue gun to do a previous project. If you were not with us then, you will get your glue gun now. And we've talked about the fact that you're building this arsenal of stuff. So a lot of you have your glue guns, you're ready to go. You'll be getting some more glue sticks to be able to move forward. And you're getting a handy dandy cheat sheet, all right? And the reason you might want to use that is because when you are gluing your spines onto your plastic, you're going to need to have them fairly evenly spaced out. So it's key, even if you choose to eyeball it, and you certainly can eyeball it, that you end up with an odd number of spines. And that is how you create your basket weave. Because once we get to the point where we're weaving, it's, back, front, and you need to have the second row of it be at a different point in the weave. So that's why you need the odd number. So there's your ingredients, and how you would use this is just to place it in your plastic and use a Sharpie to mark where you would want those little spines, and use your glue gun to put them on there. When you are gluing, you're going to have the point at the bottom. We have gone ahead and we have made our porcupine. We have made our basket spines. So the first step, once your spines are on, is to create the base of your vase. So if you could see the finished product, you would see that the part of the vase that is covering the plastic is simple wraparound twine. And then when you get above the plastic, that's when you begin your basket weave. So this is the plastic with the spines put on. Little dab of glue, hot glue, at the top, on the rim, and at the bottom. So it does sort of fan out. And then to start your twine, we put a little dab of glue on the bottom of the plastic to secure it. And then we started to wrap. So I'm just going to do a little bit of wrapping for you. I found I liked holding it like this, but it's going to be however you want to do this. And every once in a while, just sort of slide your twine down so that you're meshing and getting a nice tight weave. And I also think with your glue gun, as you go, you might every once in a while want to just put a dab of hot glue either on the plastic or on the spine, so that every once in a while in this weave, it is cemented in. So this is really fun. So that's one way to do it, is to turn it sideways. The other way is, whatever works for you. As you're doing it, you're going to want to get yourself some leeway. And what I think would be so cool is if you were working with a kid, is that they could be untwining for you as you go. There's opportunity for someone to give you a dab of glue as you go if you're working with anybody else. But otherwise, it's very simple to work independently. And the twine, I think I like this way better. I can see what I'm doing better. And I'm not potentially poking my eye out with the spine. Because then you can see to sort of slide it down and keep it in line. And I'm going to be honest, from a distance, you can't even tell that it's not twig, but it has its own special charm. And I think that gives you the idea, right? You're going to take this twine all the way up to the top, and you're not cutting, you're not ending, you're going to use this spool of twine to keep going. So I'm going to stop for a second. And I'm going to take one that has been taken all the way up to the top. So this is the base. You can see what that looks like. And you're going to pick a spot where you stop just winding, and you're going to start your basket weave. So I'm starting right here. I have cemented it down a little bit, and my very first weave is going to go behind. And then I'm going to go in front and then behind and in front and behind. And depending on how you like to work, you can put it down so you can see what you're doing. So I'm behind, in front, behind, in front, behind, in front, and I'm back to where I started. And here's the fun part, right? Since it's uneven, this was behind, now it's in front. This was in front, now it's behind, and now we've got an actual weave. So I can remember when I was young, there were all kinds of little looms for kids to make pot holders, and I do believe there were little basket weaving looms. Your kids might even have one. I'm not sure what they were using, but this is so illusionary because it really is just string, but it doesn't look like string when you're done. All right, so I was behind, I'm in front, behind, in front, in front. And I'm told by Travis that he prefers to hold it in his hand and just go like this. And that's just not comfortable for me. So I think my way is slower. But ultimately very satisfying because I can see the weave building. So I have one in front, I have one behind. And unlike knitting or things like that, you can actually see if you've lost your way. Okay. There we go. I'm on the second tier now. So there's going to be 2 strings behind and 2 strings in front. And I think you have the idea. All right. So you're doing that until you get to the top. And our suggestion would be that you cement that down before you try to do your trim, which you make separately and then add at the top. So I'm going to grab this back so you can see that again. This is a chain stitch. And we're going to show you this up close, but it's almost like macrame to me, like you're making a knot and then you're adding a knot. And that makes a trim at the top that matches your twine. Other suggestions would be ribbon. I love ribbon, and I actually found some ribbon over Easter that had carrots in the ribbon. So seasonally, there's great ribbon out there depending on how you want to use this, and you're going to be making this right in time for Mother's Day. So you might be able to find some fabulous floral ribbon or something that you really like. It all depends on whether you want this to be completely rustic, all twine, or whether you want pops of color. So one of the things I was thinking was that at the very top of your wraparound, before you start your basket weave, you might want to do 1 row of ribbon and then continue with the twine. And that would be sort of embedded in your weave. The other thing you could do when you're all finished, because you can see that it's pretty open, you could feed your ribbon around a spine and have it hanging down so that you could tie a bow if that's something that you would like. I'm guessing that you could do that periodically. All depends on the look you want. You could have ribbons interspersed. Do you know what I mean? As you're going around, there's a lot of options. So I'm going to pause for a minute so that we can give you that chain stitch up close, and then we'll show you how to put it on top. So you've been chain stitching to your heart's content. Every once in a while, you're just laying it up on top of your vase to see how much further you have to go. My guess is it's going to be 12 to 15 inches that you're chain stitching. When you get to the end, you're going to knot the chain, and then you're going to literally just hot glue it to your spokes to get it around the top, and then that end, you're just going to tuck down into your basket. And you have what looks like a willow vase or basket, but what you know is that you have plastic on the inside, so you can actually use this for real flowers. You could get some florist green if you wanted to be able to arrange, or you can just do a rustic bouquet of whatever you find handy in your neighbor's yard. Just kidding. And I think once you've done this, you're going to want to do more. I'm still making collages at home from when we did tissue paper collages. I'm going to have to get a new house to house them. So I'm thinking after the basket, you could get some different shape plastic containers or vases. You could do on a vase pure twine wraparound, or you can spike out of a container and make different sized baskets that then you can make a floral arrangement. I would love this. I love rustic. Mothers would be so thrilled that you made this by hand. Wishing everybody who is a woman, because we all take care of children, whether we've birthed them or not, happy Mother's Day.